Hey guys, it's me, Lawrence Presman, excited to talk hockey. Dave Koken with us, Buster Sports, and Carmine Bianco. It's Tuesday. I hope all you guys are well. Appreciate all of you guys waiting for the show to start. Bob Hope, I haven't seen your name. Michael B.H., nice to see you. Backdoor cover. Tim C., just so appreciative of you guys taking the time out of your day to join us and listen to Puck Time. Lots of stuff coming today. A 2 p.m. baseball show with Dave Koken and Andrew McGinnis. And, of course, our 3 p.m. Basketball show. What we're going to do today, take apart the 4 games that are happening today. I guess round 1 of the playoffs are about to begin. Before that, let's do a roll call. And we'll start with you, Buster. I haven't spoke to you in a few days. Hope you're doing well. Congratulations on your Habs. And are you winning in hockey right now?
Yes, I'm doing well with hockey. And also, thank you for that, Lawrence. I guess I wouldn't be genuine saying my condolences on the Leafs because I wish for that to happen all the time. But I do feel your pain. I understand. And I will just move on from that. But yes, I'm doing well. And yeah, very looking forward to these next round of playoff games. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Dave Koken, how did you? Last we spoke yesterday, you had come off a crappy baseball day. Have you turned it around?
Yeah, I had the Twins last night. And
so did I.
So did I.
Yeah, they didn't.
Wow.
Honestly, they didn't do much.
No.
But if you're going to get one hit, get it with the bases loaded. And Rosario did that and hit a grand slam, and that's all they scored. But that's all they needed, as their pitching was very strong. So a nice win. And I will announce now. It's not up yet. I will try and get it up during the show. If not, it'll be up at worst 5 minutes after the show. My first 5% NHL play. I very, very rarely put out 5% plays. Very rarely. I haven't had one since the pandemic started in any sport.
Yep.
But I've decided that there's a play that I think is that strong tonight, and I'll be posting it at WagerTalk. I'm going to try and get it up during the show, so if you hear me typing in the background, that's putting this play up. So that'll be the only play I make tonight in the NHL, but I think it's a good
Well,
one.
I can't wait to hear what it is.
So far.
We're going to have to, I guess, wait till the end of the show, and then you'll tell us. Carmine Bianco, my brother. What's going on,
guys? Congratulations on having the Twins last night. I did not have the Twins last night. I had twins about a year before I met my wife, so that was good. But ba-boom,
ba-boom, cha-ching. I think some people thought you might have given birth to twins, but then I got it. No. I got it.
Yes. You have the mind that you would get it. Of course, you got it. But yeah, everything's going well. I have a 5% play up at 3 o'clock today. Not in hockey, but in Europa League soccer. Put one out last week. It was an easy winner, so I'm looking to make that 2 for 2.
Love seeing these new names here. Isaac Kim, nice to see you, my friend. Terrell McKay, Aaron D, PLNR. How about them Leafs, Prez? Leafs look good, man, in my backyard. Beautiful trees, very robust, greens and reds. So thank you for asking. The admin, Aaron, nice to see you. And Aaron D says, the Prez, any thoughts on the over 1.5 in the first period of the Blackhawks game? And that's where I'm going to start. We're not going to talk Blackhawks till the end, but what I do want to make mention is a couple of things. Number one, I do like that play. When we get to the Chicago game, I'll ask the boys if they agree. I like the over in that. But I will tell everybody, the under 1.5 goals trended very well last round in the first period. So be careful with playing those overs in the first period. And I think there's a lot of good under 1.5s in the first period today. But as for that play, I do like it. The other thing I want to make mention of, and we'll talk about it throughout the show if these guys feel there's merit to it, is we got 4 teams today that played 3, 4, or 5 very meaningful, tough games. And then we have 4 teams today that played 3 slightly less tough games, if you will. I got to believe that has to come into play. So with that said, let's rock and roll. 5 games for the Columbus Blue Jackets against the Leafs, all tight-checking, hard-fought wins. Now they find themselves playing Tampa Bay. Look, I think this is a matchup both teams wanted. I think Columbus comes in here feeling confident as they were able to beat basically the same team last year in 4. But more importantly, I think this is a game Tampa Bay wants. I think this is the series that they've been looking to play. They're minus 170. Dave, I'm going to start with you. I'm betting Tampa Bay in regulation today. It's a play I was going to release to the clients, but I found a better one. But that is where some of my money is going. Tampa Bay in regulation. This game is so important to Tampa Bay. They're going to come out flying. Go ahead, Dave.
Well, revenge is a completely overused term. It just doesn't fit for the most part. It's something the public looks at and they say, "Oh, this team lost the last time, and they're going to want to get even." Generally, you don't put much into it, but I think here you do. I do think Tampa Bay is going to remember what took place last year. Now, you could argue, well, they could get the rope tightened around their necks a little bit, could get tight collars, starchy collars, because of what took place. But I really don't think that's going to be the case. I think that they truly believe they just blew it last year, that it was a complete fluke, and they're out to make amends. And let's face it, they're better than Columbus. The Blue Jackets are extremely well coached, as sound fundamentally as you're going to find any team in the NHL. But they don't have the talent to match up with the Lightning. And at least in Game 1, a seriously motivated Lightning team should have the upper hand. I agree with your play. I think here with the price being where it is, you take your chances that this can get done in regulation. You lay a half goal, minus 0.5. I think it's minus 105 in that range. That looks to me to be the best bet here.
Yeah, we're on the same page, brother. Buster Sports, where are you at, my friend?
I'm actually with you guys here on that play. I've already released it to my clients. I like Tampa Bay in regulation only because of the same reasons that Dave said, that they should be coming out flying today. Although I really like Columbus in this series. And I know this is almost going to be deja vu for Columbus, because the Leafs had more talent. The Leafs do everything. I know the Leafs are no Tampa Bay. But I'm sure, Lawrence, you would have thought that the Leafs had a pretty good chance against Tampa Bay because they played well against them all during the year.
I don't think the Leafs have a chance against my D-League Tuesday night hockey team. I think they destroy us in the regular season, and then we get to playoffs and they just choke.
There you go. Anyways, Tampa has Stamkos and Hedman. I know they're hurting a bit. I mean, they won't be 100% even if they're playing. Korpisalo, how good was he in that series?
Both goalies were incredible, dude, and I love how Torts is using them too.
Yeah, definitely. And again, I know everybody says it was a fluke last year. That after that first game when it was 3-0, Columbus comes back, beats them 4-3. But if you look at the other games, Columbus beats them 5-1, 3-1, 7-3. I mean, it wasn't like they fluked those games out. I know Tampa Bay just kind of packed it in. But you know what? Even in the only game that they played this year, it was like a 2-1 game. I think it went to shootout or overtime that Tampa Bay won. And Columbus outplayed them that game, and they out-hit them. Now, I know Tampa's been playing a little bit tougher now, but again, I like the makeup of Columbus. They have a system. Tortorella has that system, and he's proved that he's better than Cooper. And don't get me wrong, Cooper's an excellent coach. But I know there's a big line. They're a big favorite, Tampa is again, and it's not going to surprise me. Remember, guys, we're in a bubble. Things change. The whole emotions of the team has changed. All the guys together, to me, I'd rather have a Tortorella coach team that is a team than a whole bunch of talent in this situation. And I'm going to be taking Columbus. I'm taking Tampa Bay tonight, but I'm going to take Columbus just a little shot for the series.
Yeah, and look, I mean, we saw it with the Leafs, right? Sitting with all that talent, and they were able to shut them down. Stephen Lee writes, I don't know, Buster, you really like Nashville, and we saw what happened. Stephen, come on, man.
Hey.
I mean, we can all pick out losers.
Nashville played them for 50 shots a game, and they got
Buster.
That's what might happen with Tampa Bay.
Buster, you don't need to justify one loss. That's just a funny statement by Steven, but I do appreciate you being there. Nice to see you, Jerry. Matt, I hope you're doing well, brother. Okay, Carm.
Yeah.
Dave and I like Tampa a lot in regulation. Buster likes Columbus in the series. I didn't even hear his today's bet.
I like Tampa today.
He likes Tampa today.
Would you do that? How would you play it? Because both Prez and myself, I think, agreed that the play would be in regulation, minus a half goal in regulation.
Yes, Tampa. That's what I'm playing. Tampa in regulation. And then I'm going to wait because that series line is going to jump huge, right? And then I'm going to take Columbus for the series.
Listen, I love it. You only really need that one game. They win game 2 and your series prices give you a beautiful middle opportunity. So, yeah, maybe I'll hop on board with that strategy. Carmine, talk to me, baby.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you guys on the regulation play. Listen, Tampa knows going into this game what's waiting for them. They didn't know last season. They went into the playoffs, having won first place overall. Their heads were filled with the media telling them they're the Stanley Cup favorites and they should get there. And Columbus played the role of the underdogs perfectly. Torts got his team to believe. We're underdogs. No one believes in us, and they won that series. Toronto Maple Leafs were that team for Columbus this year. They went in, and Torts convinced them. No one says we can beat this Leaf team. We're clear underdogs. We're playing in Toronto, and they got through. They got through the Leafs. Once they got through Tampa last year, they played Boston, sort of tough, but the Bruins wore that team down, being a physical team, and beat them in that series. So that run ended after that first round. And I think it's a similar thing this year. This Tampa team has played better and differently than that Tampa team of last year. Cooper's got them playing a much better playoff mentality game, and they played it in the 3 games, those placement games. I understand Philly did roll them 4-1 in the last game, but they played Washington and Boston pretty well. I like the way they played those games, and they're not going to be surprised. They know they've got game film. They know what to do here. I understand Stamkos missing is a big thing. They haven't listed as out indefinitely. He's been practicing with the team. It's not a full practice. I think he'll likely make it back sometime in the series, and if they wanted to bring him back, he could play. I know it's not a Stamkos thing, but he's not going to play on the first line. He can't even play on the second line, but you can still get him some minutes on that third line. And a Stamkos on a third line matched up against the third line of Columbus is a decided advantage there for that team as well too. So for me, it's Tampa to win this series. I think quite easily. I think 4-1
at the very
worst, and definitely to win in regulation tonight.
Carmine Bianco with us, Don Buster from Buster Sports, and Dave Koken. Lots going on. Active chat room. I love it, guys. It's greatly appreciated. Hope you're doing well. Paul, Lopez, Jake, Horowitz, Raymond, Anthony M. I can't even remember owing Andrew a jersey, but, I'll buy him one. Boys, before we get into the next round of games, which will be Calgary and Dallas, I just want to make mention, and Dave, you have Netflix?
No.
Oh, dude. Guys, I told you all yesterday at the end of the show that I was watching Fear City. It's a 3-part episode. It's a 3-part series on when New York took on the mob in the 1970s. The mob consisted of 5 families. Those 5 families ran the entire city. And when I say they ran the entire city, until you watch something like this, you cannot understand the magnitude of the power that the mob had in New York and all over America in the 70s. These guys ran everything. All the construction, all the garbage, all the taxi businesses. They were extorting every business for money. They ran all the sports book operations, everything. But the biggest was the construction. They controlled all the unions. And they literally would go on strike regularly in order to jack up more profit for them. And the FBI and Giuliani and these guys went after him in the 70s and took him down using RICO for the first time ever. Watch this. It was... I went to bed last night at 3:10. It was unbelievable. I cannot recommend 3 hours any more than I do this show. It was a 10 out of 10. My only regret, and then we'll get back to sports. My only regret is it wasn't made as a the Unabomber, where it was a 10-part series. You know, Matthew McConaughey played the FBI guy who had to follow everything and put it all together. And you had De Niro and James Woods and Pesci and Pacino, Ray Liotta playing the 5 heads. Oh, my God, it would have been mind-blowing. Anyway.
It was a witch hunt. Listen, there was no Italian mob back in the day, just hardworking olive oil sales.
Yes.
Is what we were.
Says the Italian.
One thing to say. I want to thank you for taking time to talk about whatever show you were just talking about that I probably am not going to watch, because that gave me time to put the 5% play up page to talk.
That was my strategy, Dave.
See, you're a smart guy.
What can I tell you? Hey, Daniel, thanks for the nice words. He loves everybody at WagerTalk, especially Dave Koken, and yes, Terrell McKay. Fear City, Repo Man, Prez, it's the show better than sex. Yeah, no. It's a good show during sex because it's so interesting that you will maintain.
I don't want that visual. Come on.
Hey, Dave, I'm a handsome chap. Calgary, Dallas. So here, this series is really interesting. Repo Man put up a parlay that he's thrown together for tonight. I think he put up Tampa Bay, Vegas, and Calgary. And, you know, Dave, I'll go to you first. I don't know where to go here.
Go past me, because this is the 5% play, so I'm not going to.
Well, then you know where to go. Okay, Carm, I don't know where to go here, bro. Like, I look at this and I think to myself, man, these games are going to be low-scoring games. Dallas is really hard to score against. Calgary is not lighting it up. I mean, I can honestly make an argument for both teams. I'm outright passing, and I don't see a lot of bets from me in this series at all. Where are you going?
You know, obviously, I was a big fan of the Flames in the last round, and had them in, I think, in each one of their wins. As a play, they were just better than the Jets, but the Jets obviously were shorthanded. The Stars team is one of those teams that can give the Flames a hard time. They play very well defensively. Like, throw out every result of every team in these placement games. I just don't know what the motivation for these teams were, if there was any at all. At the end of the day, you can only beat the team that's in front of you. It's not going to matter if you're the number 1 seed, the 2, 3, or 4. So throw that out. They lost 5-3 to Dallas. To Vegas. They lost 4-0 to the Avalanche before beating the Blues. 2-1 in that final game. They're the type of team that plays so well defensively that they can give Calgary fits. I really was hoping for a 5.5 in this game, and I would have been clearly on the under. At 5, it lands on the number that could very easily fit this game, because this could easily be one of those 2-2 games that goes to overtime and is decided in overtime, and you end up with a push. With that said, I'm going to wait on the side until the first game. and see how this first game goes. In all honesty, if the Flames win game 1, I'd likely come back with Dallas in game 2 because I think this series goes 6 and could easily go 7. But I'm going to lean on the under here of 5. I'd rather have 5.5. And you could probably, because you're getting plus juice on the 5, you could probably buy that half a goal for about 30 cents of juice. Maybe just a little bit more. Maybe Dave can chime in on that. But I think you could probably get 5.5 and lay minus 130, minus 135, and I would still take that.
Maybe even 140. But
yeah, I'm with you there, Carm. I mean, to me, I needed that hook as well, 5.5. Vladdy Daddy gave us a donation of $4.99. Brother, I cannot thank you enough for that. I'm actually going to talk to my partners later today and figure out a plan for these donations. So bear with us because it's just so greatly appreciated. And nice to see you, Bletz. Welcome to the show. Buster, what are you doing in this game? I like Carm's zigzag approach, but it doesn't help for tonight.
No, I hear it. And Prez, I'm really with you on this. This series, these two teams, they match up to me quite well. I think at the end of the day, Dallas is a little bit better, but you know what? Again, Calgary, and we were talking, or you mentioned it right at the beginning. What's it going to be like for these teams like Calgary, who have actually, I know it wasn't playoffs, but they actually played a playoff type set series against Winnipeg compared to a team like Dallas that kind of, went through the motions. Do you get up for that first game? You have to think about that. But these two teams, they match up almost everywhere as far as their power plays are about the same. I know Calgary's a little bit better on the penalty kill, but I love Dallas's goaltenders. 5-on-5, Dallas is I think the second best team in the league for allowing goals. I mean, this is just one of those series that, like I always say, you really don't have to bet everything, right? And this is a series that I don't want no part of it for the most part. We'll see how it goes as each game goes, but the unders will probably come through because they play that type of hockey where it's hard to score on these two teams. And if their goalies are hot, you might see say if they go 6, I think they might even go 7. If they go 7, you might see 3-4 overtime games here.
Buster Sports.
So for me, I don't have a play on this. I would take the under if you got the 5.5. I don't know if I want to lay $1.40 or $1.35 to do that though.
I'm with you there, brother. One of the guys asks, how do you buy a half a point in a total at Bet Online? I do have an account at Bet Online. I haven't used it in a while, so I can't give you specifics on the answer to the Bet Online. But what I can tell you is look for something called alternative total 3-way. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah,
Carm, you want to help?
And alternate line. But I will say this: I just did a quick search on one of my sites, and to buy a half a goal in this game, the juice is just way too high.
Yeah.
It literally will cost you 80 cents of juice for a half.
Is
Well,
minus
that's not,
180
Carm, that's not
5.5?
fully true because
minus 170.
Carm,
under 5.5.
Carm, there's under 6 minus 170 at Bet365. So
Really?
yeah,
I'm actually seeing. Are you sure you're looking at the right game?
yeah, I literally just bet it, like literally right now, under 6 on the alternative total 3-way.
Yeah, well, you're looking at the 3-way
Yeah.
line. Okay, I get
Like
that.
I literally just bet the
little
play.
little different. Okay, a little
Yeah.
different. If it lands on,
Well,
if it
because it lands on 6.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure, guys. Like you probably talked about this before, but that Bet365, I know we have it here in Canada. I believe it might be available in the odd state, but I don't think Dave could bet that
No.
from
No, it's
Nevada,
only
right?
available in New Jersey.
In Nevada?
But,
Yeah,
but
no. Well, you got
remember-
lots of places,
Not
but I'm
for
just
nothing,
saying.
and I don't mean to be rude to Nevada, but you basically can't bet anything in Nevada these days.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
really?
but our books are not offering the menu they should, and it's honestly let's just say there are Nevadans who are looking or exploring opening offshore accounts again.
Yeah,
It's
I'm sorry, but
wherever you are.
no first fives on Korean baseball, no each ways on golf. You got to be kidding. They're up in other states.
I am taking.
I mean, it's straight. New Jersey's blowing us away as far as
Yeah.
looking to take the title of sports betting capital. It's East, not West. I think it's time for the books to step up here and get a little more aggressive in posting stuff for people to bet on. I don't understand. I just don't understand the philosophy. You want more action.
For sure
I always want more action. Boys, Carolina, Boston, 8 o'clock game tonight. Boston minus 135. The total here is 5.5. Dave, we're going to go to you first on this. Look, I like the under in this game, and I like Carolina, especially in the first game of the series. They just looked really good against the New York Rangers. By the way, congrats to all the Rangers fans for winning the lottery last night. I like the under, Dave. I like Carolina. Where are you going in this one?
Well, I think there might be a little value on Carolina at the price. I've got the Bruins winning the game, but I've got it really close. The total to me is spot on where it should be. I don't think the under should be minus 135. But game one of a playoff series, the bookmakers know the tendencies, the bettors know the tendencies, and you have to pay. You have to pay if you want to bet unders in most game ones. There is an exception to that rule, which we'll talk about when we get to the fourth game. But This is a no bet. This was an easy no bet for me because I came up with the Bruins winning, but there's no chance I lay $1.40. One, I think the teams are closer than that. Two, Carolina probably remembers. They might not. They don't have to have memories like elephants either to have some motivation here. And three, the Bruins were absolutely terrible in the round robins, and the coach says after game two that they need to be a little more competitive. Well, I guess they were maybe a little more competitive in the third and final game, but they still weren't impressive. They just haven't looked good. And I don't know that you could necessarily say, all right, we're just gonna turn the switch on now that the games count. They obviously didn't care about the seeding, and did themselves harm in the process. Now I don't make a big deal out of seeding, and I think the players feel the same way. That's always been my take. But they got themselves a lot tougher opponent than they might have had they gone out and played to get the number one seed, because I'd rather be facing Columbus than Carolina. Let's put it that way. I think this is going to be a tough series for the Bruins. I think they'll win it, but you're not going to get me laying any prices to find out.
Yeah, I'm with you. Although I don't think they'll win it. I think it's going to be a tough, bloody series for Boston. And I think it's going to be the closest series.
I think once they get a good game under their belts, they could start rolling, because that's one thing we know about the Bruins from the regular season. And I'm not going to say the regular season's the same, but when they had a few cold stretches in the regular season, but when they got hot, watch out, because there wasn't any team better in the league when they got rolling. So beware if the Bruins have a good game tonight. It might be a buy sign.
Raymond, yes, when we say under, we mean under 5.5. No problem. No question is dumb on the show. Scott Lafredo, a very ironic statement, Buster. Carolina is top heavy. Bergeron's going to shut that line down. Yeah, irony at its finest degree, given that Boston might be the top heaviest team in all of hockey.
That's a fact.
What, Dave? I read that statement. I'm like, what do you? Carolina can roll out 4 lines. Boston, I don't think you can even name someone on their fourth line. Anyway, Buster, where are you going in this one?
I'm actually with you again, Prez.
God.
I like Carolina. I know, I'm thinking the same thing, buddy. I am. But I like Carolina because I think, and I'll go back onto what Dave says, if Boston gets rolling here, it could be ugly for a lot of these teams, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get rolling. I actually wrote up the play with and saying about, can Boston just turn that switch on, right? Can they just go from not looking very well, like that line of Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak? They look terrible. Do they? Who knows? But again, I know I'm like a broken record. I keep going back on this bubble, but this living in a bubble with your teammates and not even, I think a lot of times they can't meet in their rooms or nothing. It's not like you're at a baseball or a hockey tournament. You all get together in one room and you all, like that living in the bubble, maybe it doesn't really do well for Boston. To me, Carolina, I know it's early. To me, this is a must-win for Carolina. Last year, Boston swept them, made it look easy, right? They beat them at home 5-2, 6-2.
It was easy.
Then they made it look easy, right? And then they beat them 2-1 and 4-0. No problem. So, to me, Carolina has to know that they can play with these guys, and it's imperative that they win game one. Because if Boston wins game one and puts that doubt back in Carolina like it's last year again, they're in trouble. I actually believe they'll go and do that tonight.
The one difference, though, and I think this is notable from last season, is Carolina was coming out of a grueling series against the Capitals, who were the defending Stanley Cup champs. And I think they kind of were just happy to be there at that point, and the Bruins just smashed them. I think this is a different Carolina team this year. This is a more mature team, and I think this is going to be a tough series.
Yeah, and Brindamore has really shown himself a capable coach.
Yeah.
Carmine, what are you doing in this one?
For me, it's Bruins. Again, I'm tossing out the 3 placement games the Bruins played. I think we'll likely see the real Bruins team tonight. I think those 3 games really literally just served as getting this team ready for the first round of the playoffs. Sometimes a team has another team's number, and the Bruins have won, I think, 10 of the last 11 over Carolina, and they rolled them. They rolled them in last year's playoffs, 4 straight in the semifinals. And yeah, I get they came out of a tough series. I don't think Carolina got as much out of this series against the Rangers. They pretty much did the same thing. Rangers, in my eyes, really didn't show up in this series, and a lot of it had to do with goaltending. If they had Shesterkin from the onset, game 1, and they were able to win a game early, they could have made a series out of this, and they didn't. I'm taking the Bruins in this series, and I'm going to take it just a little step further and lay $1.25 on the money line and take the Bruins in the first period of the game tonight.
Well, good luck, my friend.
Wow.
Thanks for the nice words, Bob Hope. He says the show's great, as always, and give them some thumbs up. So there you go, everybody. Everybody, remember, I am rolling in betting. I've had just the most ridiculous month of August, over 70% in all my plays. And Dave Koken, maybe you guys can mention it on the baseball show, but I am on a 15-1 baseball run. 15 wins and 1 loss baseball run, and I have a baseball play up for tonight. So make sure to check that out. I mean, I've just... And you know my loss, Dave? Oh, my God, dude. My loss was Arizona in bottom of the ninth. Bottom of the ninth. It was against Arizona. Houston. Yeah. Bottom of the ninth, they lose the game. Otherwise, I'd be on a 16-0 run.
Oh, yeah, they had a 1-run lead. Arizona scored 2 in the bottom of the ninth. That's right. Yeah,
4-3, and then ended 5-4. That was my...
5-4.
That was my only loss this entire year.
Wow.
Vegas Golden Knights versus the Chicago Blackhawks, minus 210 for Vegas, plus 175 for Chicago. The over and under here is 6.5. Bottom line for me, and I'll go to you first on this card. I like Vegas in regulation tonight, and I like the over as well. I can see a 4-3, 5-2 type of a game. Okay, you know what? Forget you, Carm. We'll go to you next. Buster,
What?
Buster's like laughing at me, dude.
I'm not, no, Prez, I'm not laughing. I'm laughing kind of like with you because that's my game. I took Vegas in regulation myself tonight. So now we're on all the same games. And, you know, I've been doing this show with you long enough. So I might have to write the date down when we go 3 for 3 tonight, Prez.
Okay. Carm Baby, talk to us.
That's the only reason. I wasn't laughing at you. I was just like thinking, oh, you're on the same play I'm on as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think as far, because I'm going to take over here. I'm sorry, but Vegas for me. I think this is actually, of all the series in this quarterfinal round, I think this is the one that is most likely to be a sweep. Edmonton provided absolutely no defense against the Blackhawks. even in the games where the Blackhawks weren't scoring a lot of goals, and they did score a lot of goals, they had so many 2-on-1s, opportunities to score. You're not going to get those against this Vegas team. They're just a big physical team. They forecheck well. They play well in their own zone. They create turnovers. This is not a good matchup in my eyes for the Blackhawks, and because of that reason, I think taking those regulation lines like tonight with Vegas is the way to go, because if Vegas, for lack of a better word, if Vegas rolls them tonight, you're not going to see minus 170, minus 180 in regulation time on this Vegas team. They're literally going to be, a minus 220, minus 230, minus 240 each and every game in this series. So for me, it's the Golden Knights regulation time.
Yeah, and as we already know, Buster, you like that play as well. You want to talk to the game?
Yeah, for sure. I also like Carmine said, you know what? Vegas this is just a bad matchup for Chicago. And Corey Crawford, even though he can play fantastic, he looks really shaky. He's going down all the time. I don't know. I know that's how he plays, but he just doesn't look the best. And they give up the puck a lot. And I agree with Carmen as well. I really like the over here too as well. I think you might see the only way Chicago even can compete is if they play all out. They can't play defense. We all know that. And so I do like the over 1.5 for the first period. I think it's like minus 140.
Yeah, I love it too.
And these two teams too. It'll depend on the power plays and that, because for Chicago's power play to get that game over could go really quick if Chicago gets some power play chances, and their power play shows up as the one that showed up against Edmonton, not the one that showed up for the most of the year when it was like 28th overall. But again, and as far as Vegas' power play, they're really good, but Vegas' penalty kill hasn't been that good. So Chicago might be able to get some scoring opportunities there. And I like I say, I like the Vegas in regulation. I like the game over 1.5. I like the game over 6.5. I could see Vegas winning like 7-3 or something tonight.
Yeah,
I think they just come out and roll them.
Yeah. John Howard, thanks for the nice words. Connor Mac Picks. I guess here's a guy who's promoting himself in our chat room, which works out fine by me.
No, that's actually that's Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
That's Connor McDavid. He doesn't have anything. He has nothing.
Oh my
to do
God,
now,
that's
so
Connor McDavid joining us for some hockey advice. He
that's
writes,
what that
"We
is.
only have 40 thumbs up out of 250 people watching." Oh my God, dude, I'm like thrilled with that. Are you kidding? That's like,
let's get it to 60, boys. Let's get it to 60.
No, 100. Everybody listening and watching, hit that thumbs up button right now. Right now. I can see it moving right now. Go right now. Anyway, Dave Koken, take us home. Last person to chat about hockey. Go.
Well, look, okay. So the Blackhawks managed to get, and look, full credit to the Blackhawks, who everybody lambasted as clearly being the worst team in the playoffs, and, well, they're still in the playoffs, and Edmonton's going home. But it's just a completely different matchup, because the Oilers had that one phenomenal line, and they tried to mix them up, tried to mix it up, but it really didn't work very well. And the Blackhawk veterans really stepped up. The guys who'd been, you could call them relic or connections, not relics, connections to the past when the Blackhawks were winning Stanley Cups. Those guys were great, and they'll try and lead the way again in this series. I think it's very important for the Golden Knights to win this first game. You do not want to give Chicago a feeling like they've got a real chance to win this. And right now, the Blackhawks, of the 16 teams still playing, the Blackhawks are certainly the team with the least amount of pressure and expectations. So they're in a complete free roll right now. Yeah. It's all a gravy train for them. So the one thing that the Golden Knights have to survive is the pressure of Game 1. You do not want to fall behind in this series, or all of a sudden you've got trouble. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Blackhawks, they'll give them a go. But 4 lines, well balanced on the Golden Knights. They've been a different team since they got Gallant out of there.
Yeah.
I think Vegas rolls in this series. I'd be surprised if the Blackhawks win a game, and therefore the only way I could bet here would be Golden Knights regulation.
Yeah, Carm, I know you got to run, brother. So we're gonna finish the show in the next few minutes. If you can wait. If not, just go, and we'll have a nice black box. We went from 47 likes to 87 likes in 2 minutes. I cannot thank you guys enough. We will get to that 100 like button as the day goes on. Wheezy B writes, Prez, the Blackhawks are battle tested and have championships. Yeah. Sidney Crosby's golfing today with Malkin and Letang and Sullivan and Matt Murray, and they are battle tested as well, my friend. The Blackhawks were many, many years ago. That's for sure. Man, Dave, I'll tell you, the way Vegas has been built as a team, it's just been spectacular to watch. It'll be so interesting to see what Seattle does. The blueprint is there. Go out and find the 20 fastest guys you can. Just an amazing story. And frankly, now that my Leafs are out, go Vegas, man. This is the team I'm going to back to cheer for, because it'd just be such an incredible story. I mean, what a franchise from start to finish. 97 likes, 98. We're staying on until we get 100. Oh, wait, that maybe no 99. One will then give us 100, because who wants us to leave, right? Okay, boys.
I see 99.
Release the Kraken. Speaking of which, Koken, what do you think of that name, the Kraken?
I like it because there's. I want the. I should get some kind of a royalty on the T-shirts. Welcome to the Crack House. I'm a crack hoe.
Yeah, I'm a crack hoe. That one is top of the list. 104 likes, everyone. Thank you so much for watching Puck Time tomorrow, 11 o'clock Eastern. We're rotating Dave Koken with Andrew McGinnis. Can't thank you all enough. Make sure to watch Dave and Andrew at 2 o'clock Eastern on First Pitch. And anyone in the chat room, remind Andrew and Dave to talk about my 15-1 baseball run. You don't get those often. Buster, we'll see you tomorrow. Dave, we'll see you on Thursday. A namaste to everyone, and check out Fear City. Enjoy the hockey. The games are all going to be great. First one goes 3 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all again. I cannot thank you guys enough. Go again, Dave. End the show. Bye.